Okay, part 2 of this video will be a separate video because I am publicly educated. So, what I wanted to discuss in the second part is how I clean the wheels on steam locomotives. So, after seeing I had the diesel locomotive flipped upside down, if you have highly detailed steam locomotives, I would not recommend doing that. You have a lot of intricacies in your valve gear and drive rod assemblies. This stuff can easily get flipped over, and if you power it up when it's upside down, you can bend it. So let me get the body off of this guy really quick. It is unscrewed, but it takes 2 hands, so stand by. Okay, so 2 birds, 1 stone here. I also had a commenter slash channel viewer comment that he would like to see how the third rail quiet drive system worked. Well, here it is. So you got your Pitman 9000 series motor, huge flywheel on the back side. Coming out, you got a little shaft with a plastic gear, your Kevlar reinforced belt, going down to another plastic cogged unit into a ball bearing gearbox. So there it is. Not too fancy, not too archaic in my opinion. It seems to work, and it is quite quiet. So I can fire it up here a little bit, and you can hear how little of noise it makes. I do have the sound turned down. It is quiet, I'll give it that. And after I show you how I clean the wheels on my steam locomotives here, I'll compare this to another type of drive. So, what I do with the body off, obviously, very simple. Same theory. Put the Q-tip on the wheel. You can either power it or do what I do. I just twist the flywheel and do it very slowly. See how slow that guy. It's kind of hard to do with one hand here. But yeah, that's how I get it accomplished on steam locomotives. So obviously just do all your wheels. Like I said, you can do it under power if you want. Just do it really slowly. Or another thing you can do is if you barely apply power to these flywheel equipped guys, you'll actually be able to push it. And then you can kind of clean the wheels at your own speed. If you have a modern Lionel locomotive, you will not have that problem, as they can freewheel, which I think is a really good idea. I wish other manufacturers did that. But just real easy way to clean stuff there. Let me get him out of the way. Alrighty, so let me pull up another locomotive here, and I can just pull this back. Hold on. Here is how a brass locomotive drive looks when you are not third rail. This happens to be the Williams Niagara. My Weaver Sam Hongsa built units will be exactly the same. It's even similar in this Weaver, which was not built by Sam Hongsa. It was probably built by Korea Brass, but similar in concept. Same thing. Big can motor. Flywheels on the front side, little drive shaft with some universal joints in it, going into a all metal geared gearbox. You can actually even see in there SAM for Sam Hongsa and Korea, of course. So give me 1 second here. Through the magic of compatibility, we can actually hook the Water Buffalo's tender to this locomotive. They're both QSI reverse units, so I'll run this so you guys can hear the difference in sound. To me, it's not that big of a deal, but I will admit the third rail does run a little bit smoother. It is geared quite a bit differently. It is geared much lower, so it goes much slower compared to the Niagara. But stand by here. Let me swap out these tenders so you can hear it. Okay, the connection, the physical tender connection is different between the Williams and the third rail, so we're just going to drag it with the tether there, so don't give me too much shit. But here, you can hear the difference. If we can get Mr. CW80 to work here. Hold on. There we go. So, as you can hear, there's a little bit more noise. I'm not too concerned with it. Same thing. Let me give him just a little bit of power here. And then we can just kind of push him. But yeah, you can hear there's a little bit more noise. Not bad, though. Not bad at all. So, personally, I prefer this style. To me, this is more robust. I have more lubrication points in here, obviously, so I can maintain this easier. Some guys swear by the third rail. This technically is my second third rail. My first third rail ran like complete garbage, and I actually sold it. This one runs extremely well. I was thoroughly impressed with it. So I will give, and that's of this era. So I will give them benefit of the doubt on this. So, like I said, these were still Korean built. This was made in 01. This chassis here was made in 90. So you can see how, I don't know if you want to call it progression or not. Like I said, I kind of prefer this. A lot of our steam locomotives have a drive similar to this. If you even the TMCC AC9, since that was built in Korea, it's going to have a drive system similar to this. This does not freewheel. This has to be moving. Your MTH Proto 1 Premier steams that were built by Sam Hongsa, they're going to be almost identical to this. But their gearbox is a little fancier. You can completely take these Williams ones apart, which is kind of nice. You can see the screws in there. So, just a well-built model. They're both well-built. It's going to come down to, like I said, this has been around in my possession since 1990. It still works fine. You can see how clean it is. This has been in my possession for maybe 4 months. It was new in the box. I did not mention that during the video. It was new in the box. There was absolutely no wear on it anywhere. So we'll see. We'll see what the longevity of this is. I don't know how this compares to a newer third rail that has the Cannon motors versus the Pitman. I full-on prefer the Pitman motors. All MTH Premier PS1s have these. Your scale TMCC from this era, meaning early aughts, will have Pitman motors as well. My right-of-way stuff has Pitman motors. They're Cadillacs, in my opinion. But anyway, there's part 2 of cleaning. So I hope somebody got something out of this, and I hope somebody finds the old quiet drive mechanism interesting there. I kind of did. I never really looked at one, so surprisingly simple, but like I said, we will see how it goes with longevity. So, all right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I thank everyone for watching. Later.